What is good, fam? Back here with another one. Today we have probably one of the most recognizable frozen pizzas in America, the Digiorno, which I haven't had in years because, man, I was not a fan of it. The crust is super cornmeal and very thick, but this is actually their wood-fired style crust, so I'm guessing it's a little bit more legit. But there's only one way to find out. We're gonna go ahead and give it a shot and see if it's actually hitting or just hype. Let's see where it falls on the scale, people. We so far have tried 2 pizzas in the series, so this is gonna be the 3rd one. And right now, at the end of the video, you're gonna be able to see where they all are in their current position and rank. Definitely much thinner than the typical Digiorno pizza. The typical Digiorno is very thick crust. And this is the wood-fired style crust. Seems to have some sort of like parsley or something, maybe oregano, but there's a lot actually of green flake in there. So they put some Italian seasoning on there. I'm expecting to have some good flavor. We're actually gonna cook both these at the same time. This also requires you to put it on 400 degrees, and this is a Red Baron classic cheese, a 4-cheese pizza right here. Another OG in the series. This one actually feels much heavier. This one definitely has a much more thin, crispy crust from my memory. Before I started getting Tombstone, this used to be my go-to pizza, but Tombstone, for the price and what you get, super fire. Now here's what the Red Baron pizza looks like. As you see there, it's got some cheddar cheese in there. It's the backside. A little bit heartier. I would say our first impressions, the Digiorno crust definitely did have some more legit feel and look as well. But this is what the Red Baron look like. As you see there, kind of echoing what I said, not too thick, not too thin, with the perfect amount of crunch. I can attest that's pretty accurate, honestly. Here, as you see, we have our Digiorno fresh out of the oven. Very heavy on whatever the green seasoning is. I'm sure we'll be able to taste and identify what that is. Pretty legit on the cook overall. Pretty decent. It's got a nice crunch while being pillowy at the same time, so a good little balance there. Okay, I'll give it a solid 9. Let's go and raw first to see what it tastes like without any sauce or any extra Parmesan. Got 1 slice of the pizza there. Tastes very similar to Stouffer's lasagna. That's neither a bad or a good thing. I think what it is whether it's oregano or parsley on there. Those flakes definitely add a lot to the flavor. Nowhere near as quality cheese as the previous 2 pizzas though. That's pilliness on the crunch, but it still has a nice crunch on it. And the cheese is pretty cheap tasting. Very thin amount of cheese. Sauce, not much there. This is a very basic frozen pizza, but good flavor. Nonetheless, not bad for the offering. I paid $5 for this. It's alright for the price. Here's the underside. It's got that mechanical perforation in there, like a lot of frozen pizzas tend to have. Sauce is very tangy. Good amount of salt to it. Not very sweet at all. Just very like bright and tangy. Not very Italian tasting, but not bad by any means. Sauce, cheese, to crust ratio, 7.5 out of 10. This is an alright pizza. Definitely get those last 2 away before you get this. Here we have the Red Baron 4-cheese pizza. Initial smell test. Very settled cheese flavor. Not very present, not very sharp by any means, but really well baked. And like they said, just the right amount of crunch. Is definitely a crunchier pizza, but it's not super thin crust either. Back when I was younger, it wasn't common for frozen pizzas to be a thin crust, which most of them are now. They all had like a Digiorno type crust, but now everyone has this like generic super flatbread. Probably because it's easier to manufacture. The slice score has definitely been improving slowly but surely. We've been being pretty accurate. I think we can go and get that one a solid 9 as well. But let's go and take our best slice right here, which seems to be this one. Cheers. What's up? That dough is very generic. It doesn't have much flavor. It's just like a white bread. That's the best way I can describe it. If you look there, you see the pillowy layers in between. Very hot, so I don't want to burn the roof of my mouth, which I typically do. Especially with these sauces, like these very just like molten acidic sauces. They like peel a whole layer off your mouth. It's pretty insane. So we're gonna let that cool down a little bit. But first impressions out the bite, nothing to write home about with the Red Baron pizza. Very sweet sauce, very acidic on the tomatoes, very sweet. Give them cafeteria vibes. Here's the underside. I think we did a pretty good job cooking it though, because the underside looks pretty optimized as far as bake. Let's give it a shot on the crust here. Yeah, it's just a white bread flavor. As far as the cheese, you don't really taste anything on the cheese. I'm not really. There's like no flavor on that cheese at all. So we're gonna go and call that a very mild cheese. Now I used to tear these up, but now that we're being very critical, it's just very alright to me. One thing I will say though is that it did bake very nicely. The underside looks very nice. Definitely not my favorite though. Definitely room for improvement. So we gotta see if some ranch and some parm could save the day on either of these examples, because I don't know, we might be 0 for 2 today. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just very all right. Sauce up slice, see what it tastes like. Yeah, that Red Baron, I don't know. Just a little too cheap and a little too generic for me. Sauced up Digiorno. That's not saving either. I haven't purchased a Digiorno in many years, and now I feel justified doing so because it's just nothing to write home about. It's not really doing anything. Oh, take away the hunger, but don't taste good while doing it. 6.9 on the Red Baron, 7.3 on the Digiorno. Probably go without these either way. If you have any recommendations for pizza I should try next, drop them down in the comments below. I'm gonna hit them all. It's gotta be cheese though. And let me know what you think about Red Baron or Digiorno. Either or. Love, peace, blessings. I'll catch you on the next one. Till then, peace.